Hello, YouTube. This week's review will be Django Unchained, starring Christoph Waltz, Jamie Foxx as the titular Django, alongside Kerry Washington as Brunhilde, Leo DiCaprio as Calvin Candy, and supporting characters with Walton Goggins and Samuel L. Jackson, and a cameo by Luke Duke himself, Tom Ropat, alongside the original Django. For those that don't know, Django Unchained is actually a remake of a movie from spaghetti western from 1966, which had Franco Nero, who had a bit part in it, alongside Don Johnson as Big Daddy. And talk about a star-studded cast with that one. I mean, I mean, Jonah Hill had a cameo in it. I already mentioned Luke Duke. James Remar had one too. And all I'm gonna say is an excellent movie. I mean, regular won and was nominated for some Oscars. I'm not real kind of brain farting on that one right now, but overall, one of Tarantino's finest masterpieces. And Tarantino, one of the greatest directors of all time, and which of course Tarantino himself cameoed in his movie with his cheesy Australian accent, which is weird for 1858 South. Although I kind of would have thought that could have been like 1861 or something. They could have did that with, for one thing, because of some inaccuracies like, although dynamite, which was featured, wasn't invented until 67 after the Civil War, then there was an abundance of Henry Lever actions didn't come around to 1860. But overall, all epic action, epic soundtrack. And of course, you can't have Tarantino without an epic soundtrack. Am I right, people? I mean, you got to start off with the theme song from the original Django, which of course I just mentioned Franco Nero, and which is kind of weird because for a surprising, when you hear that song, you'd be like, I cannot believe that's not Elvis, because that's basically bootleg Elvis singing in a way for a spaghetti western. But overall, an epic story of action, revenge, and bounty hunting. When Dr. King Schultz buys and frees Django from the slaves and from the slave owners, one of which was Remar. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you kind of know the story, but overall, an epic take on it. I mean, an epic use of, went back to the soundtrack where you had another epic use of Crow Cheese, I Got a Name, which I've mentioned in my last American Hero video. And of course, Johnny Cash's Ain't No Grave. Which, but of course, epic. All they could have did like God's Gonna Cut You Down. But back to my theory on that should have taken place in '61, but given how just had Calvin Candy wear a Confederate uniform and all that, and just be Django whooping rebel asses, kind of like being like the Yankee equivalent to Josie Wales. And as for another review, Josie Wales, I mean. But epic tale from transition from slavery to gunfight, from slave to gunfighter, with the help of old Dr. King Schultz, of course. I mean, who was although he was basically kind of like part Doc Holliday, part John Brown. And of course, we got to mention a cameo by Bruce Dern, as the flashback scene, which, when it comes to Tarantino, that's one of his freaking collaborators alongside old Samuel L. Jackson. And don't get in all the action. Actually, like the first encounter when they take down the crooked sheriff in one town, and a standoff with old. I'm just gonna refer to Luke Duke because as Luke Duke, not Gil Tatum or something like that. I can't remember Gil something of her, Marshall something. When they kill that crooked sheriff in that town, that scene where they kill the crooked sheriff in that town, didn't they go after Don Johnson's guys who was a precursor to the Klan? And well, of course, old King Schultz's little wagon with the teeth around, giving it, like I said, part Doc Holliday, part John Brown in a way. And oh, talk about the epic actions and quotes and all. Like, I like the way you die, boy. And all the use of weaponry and all. Like I say, when it comes to film action categories, westerns, in my opinion, have always had the best guns, best weaponry. I'm like, a lightsaber, phaser rifle would be nice and all, but give me a Henry and a Captain Ball Colt any day. Talk about some shoots light lightning, loads of might slow. Like, Devil's Right Hand. You could have put that in the soundtrack. Should have put that in the soundtrack, Tarantino. But hey, I ain't knocking it. This is a positive review if you're watching this, Quentin. And of course, the whole Candyland shootout, which was about as close as you ever get to a Western equilibrium. I'll say this much. After Calvin Candy gets his butt whooped and all, and woo, about some of the scenes in that where Big Daddy got his, and the whole montage to I Got a Name where he shot the snowman for target practice, and a whole bunch of other bottle counts of other outlaws with the Sharps carbine, the Henry, and the Captain Ball and the Navy Colts and all. Man. When it comes to westerns, especially remakes, you gotta go give it the hard R, which counts with Django, Freetin Yuma, which of course I'll review later on, and for overall, I'll give this a whole 5 out of 5. Given, perfect casting. And personally, my favorite Jamie Foxx film, and the soundtrack, and the body count. Of course, when you're Tarantino, you always got to rack up the body count. And talk about body count where people begin like how when the slave catchers got theirs with both barrels, and then the whole scene where King Schultz just says bullseye when they get Big Daddy's guys in the whole trap with a TNT in the wagon and all, and the Candyland shootout, and then Candyland round 2, which was after he gets captured by old Samuel Jackson, who was basically like the Uncle Ruckus of the Django verse. and And woo, some and how old Samuel Jackson was the character now, man, talking about more evil than that, than old Colin Candy and Leo, and which, of course, one of the best things Leo's ever done. And talking overall, Django Unchained gets an epic 5 out of 5. I mean, likes, I mean, all for this week. More subscribers, subscribe. Tell me tell me what you might what you might want me to review next, and it might be your next video. Enjoy.